What are some common ways that people may not know that they get out of alignment? Or, you know, everybody is doing their phone thing
for
now,
sure,
and posture's bad. And
absolutely. I mean, postural issues are definitely one, and those are what we call physical stressors. Like, you know, if you're at a computer for 8 hours a day, or you're texting a million, like if you see every teenager now, right? Like the only form of communication that they have is via a texting. They don't even call on their phone, right? Like they just literally text away. And now they have a cute name for that. They call it text neck, right? But there's nothing cute about it. When you do stuff like that, it just normalizes that. They're like, oh yeah, I have degeneration in my neck. It's called text neck. Oh yeah, well I text, so that's normal to have text neck. Craziness, right? So there's physical stuff like that, but those are easy to point out, right? Like if someone looks at his own posture and says, man, I'm like this for 10 hours a day, I can see how that may lead to a problem. People can visualize those. But there are other things that can cause problems in the spine that are much more subtle. So we call these chemical stressors and emotional stressors. See, chemical stressors, the biggest chemical stressor that we're dealing with in North America, unfortunately, is processed foods. Things like refined sugars, refined salts, GMO products. You know, unfortunately, things that we're consuming as food, we really shouldn't be consuming, right? But it's, you know, we'll take a look at the packaged aisle when you go to the grocery store, right? It's gigantic. The fresh food aisle and stuff is on the outskirts. The vast majority of the grocery store is processed food. And unfortunately, in North America anyway, that is a gigantic problem. See, what people don't understand is when you eat garbage food, you release proteins inside the body that can trigger the inflammatory response. Because anything that you put inside your body where the body says, I don't know what that is, the first thing that it does is it releases a protein called a cytokine, which then triggers inflammation. So that's where the whole, if you've ever heard the term a pro-inflammatory lifestyle, that's what they're referring to. You're doing things in your day-to-day life that is causing more and more inflammation. So for people who are not eating the best, that can cause subluxations as well, because when you're inflamed, the body says, holy cow, there's a problem. Well, what does it do? It triggers a stress response in the brain. And part of that stress response starts to tighten up muscles to protect yourself. So it started with a chemical, but it can still lead to a misalignment in the spine. And same with emotional stuff as well. I mean, people who go through emotional issues, they might be taking care of a sick child at home, or a mother with Alzheimer's, or whatever it is. These emotional things, again, trigger that stress response and cause the body to contract like crazy as a protective mechanism. And long term, these can lead to problems. So it can be physical. Postural stuff can definitely do that kind of thing, but it can be other subtle things that you would never even think would be associated with it as well. So that's why, like in our clinic, and I'm sure in a lot of chiropractic clinics, they try to educate their patients that these are potential causes of subluxation so that they really fully understand what we do.